Hello, everybody, live on this wonderful Tuesday. What is today, the 28th or something like that? Something crazy, right? And of June. And you know what? We're 29th, actually. We are at the end of the year, right, Mary? It's the 29th, isn't it?
Yes, 29th. Yeah.
That's what happens when it's live and you don't look at your phone first. But we are very fortunate today to have the Queen of Awesome, okay, from the Sahara branch of Nevada, Miss Mary Kullman. Yeah, Mary.
Hi, everybody.
You hear that studio audience, Mary? They love you.
Yeah, love it. Love it.
So before we get into the awesomeness, let's talk about, tell us how long you've been doing this and a little about yourself, please.
Okay, so it's 10 years. This year was 10 years, which is, I can't believe it's, in one way it seems like, how is it 10 years already? And the other, it feels like I've always done this. So yeah, it was just at 10 years in January.
Awesome. And you are 10 years and you've been at the same place the whole time, basically, right?
Yeah, from the very beginning.
A decade of Mary Kullman at Berube. How can we stand it? The awesomeness is overwhelming.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I started here from day one, and I will be here till day done. So.
Day one to day done. I love it. Yeah. I love it. So tell us a little about, so how you do your business. I know you do some wonderful things at the Sahara branch too. Now you guys are doing. Tell us about your telephone prospecting deal you guys are doing there. It sounds awesome.
It is awesome. Okay, so we started just prospecting clinic. Start the whole week going over scripts, learning scripts, how to use the scripts, what to say, what not to say, how to say it, when not to say it, the whole thing, the whole breakdown that I've been taught since day one. And just kind of decided, let's bring that and work on that. And of course, having this company really lets you, it's very awesome that they allow you to do things like that, help other people learn, help what you've learned. And so, yeah, we do that. It's a week long, actually 6 days now. We expanded it from Monday through Saturday. And it's just been really cool. Brings a lot of new agents in that are really afraid of that word prospecting, don't know really what all that means, and just kind of getting them used to getting on the phones and talking to people.
Yeah, so. It gets them, because when you can communicate in a world that people are trying not to communicate, they'd rather do Facebook, and which is great. You got to do Facebook and Instagram and all those things too. But if you can talk in a way, we were just going over this in my last coaching call. If you can talk in a way that, you make people feel special, because that's your fiduciary responsibility anyway, right? It's all about them. When they can sense that you're all about them, I like to call it intense curiosity. When you're intensely curious about somebody, they can tell. When you're not, they can tell, right? It's pretty obvious.
For sure. I feel really fortunate to have started the way that I did. I started with John, and I never knew that there was anything to do but prospect. I never knew that there was an option, because of course that's what he had done. And since day one, my very first day, whenever I say this, people are so like, oh my gosh, must have been so scary. But I literally walked in, he handed me a script, handed me a bunch of phone numbers, and said, call these people and say this. And not knowing that wasn't what you were supposed to do, I said, okay. And I started doing it and booked appointments the very first day. Because it was mindset and not knowing that I was supposed to be opposed to calling people I didn't know. So I have to say, I'm so incredibly grateful for that, because I don't know that there's another way to do it. I really don't. That's all I've ever known, because I didn't know there were any other options. And for me, really is no other way to do it.
Yeah, no, that's. Yeah, so just so everybody knows John Joseph. John Joseph, is an agent here, runs a wonderful team out of the Sahara branch. Also a Mike Ferry coach and speaker, right? Yeah. So you were able to start and used to be here at this company. Well, he still is as an agent now.
Yeah.
And you started right away, get on the phone, use this script. Talk about what a gift that was, right?
It was huge. And like I said, a lot of people are, I couldn't have done that. Yeah, you can. And you're really lucky if you do start that way. So that's kind of what we're trying to do with it being the newer agents that are getting started is, you can't tell them you have no other option, obviously, but kind of being able to talk to them as someone who that is what I did, just started out, got on the phone, didn't know a difference, and how my business built from that. My business wasn't my SOI. It was 100% calling people that I didn't know when the whole thing started. Now it's mostly SOI because it's definitely referrals from those beginning people that I met over the first few years from prospecting. So
I was very fortunate after my first 2 years in the business of doing okay. I was almost going to get out of it, and I was able to. I came to Las Vegas, my first time ever to Las Vegas. I think it was 79 or 80. And I met Floyd Wickman, Mike Ferry, Jerry Bresser, Richard Flint, all the guys that eventually became. I remember standing with Jerry Bresser, the guy that wrote List More, Sell More. It was like my Bible. And talking to him, I know he's passed away now. He was old then. And, and then I obviously hit it off with Mike Ferry the best. And I started going to his seminars right away. And all the rest is in the history books. But and we were talking about this morning, because you have an agent in your office, no name mentioned, Carla. Okay, who has gotten consistent phone business from calling, who has kind of slacked. What happens is with a lot of agents is they prospect, they get a bunch of pendings, they get money in the bank, they get a little complacent, and then they got to start the wheel over again. It's actually, news alert everybody, it's actually a lot easier if you start it and keep it going than it is to stop and start, which, and I think everybody needs to do that once or twice before it actually sinks in. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what is so you guys are doing it 6 days a week there. What kind, how many people are showing up? What kind of results are you guys getting?
It's been kind of cool, actually. I would say we get between 6 and 10, 12 people each time. Nice. We do it every 5 or 6 weeks. And it's usually newer agents. But what we've noticed the last couple of those clinics is more seasoned agents have started coming out too, which is really cool for the brand new agents, because then they get to hear people doing this and talking more about, this is how I built my business. Don't be afraid of it. And giving them tips while they're on the phones prospecting during the live part of prospecting, giving them little tips. So it's been really awesome. It really, really has. It started out small and it's evolved where it's getting bigger each time. There's more people in the clinics. So
yep. And you have very supportive managers over there between Amanda and which is great. They both understand and have done the type of prospecting and scripting. And I mean, I know they both head up role play. And I called Amanda yesterday. She's like, hold on. I'm listening to this role play. Give me 1 second. I'm like, okay. I love it. Sure. And the thing is that, and everybody needs to understand this. And a couple of the things that you've said are so important. I have never met anybody, I don't know if you have, who has started prospecting and kept going, who hasn't been successful at it. It's not rocket science.
That's the hard part is you can say that, and getting newer to believe that is the case, but that's 100% true. I don't know anybody that doesn't do it. If you do it consistently, and like you said, even it's not always being 100% perfect at it. But if you just do it consistently, even if you do it badly in the beginning, I think I heard you say that once before. You were terrible when you first started, but you kept doing it. Yeah. And constant activities create constant results. And that's the thing, the consistency every day, just doing it, even, or whatever your schedule says, even though it doesn't always show you the best results. You can't fail if you continue to do it.
That's so true. That's a perfect example too. Yeah, I remember when I started, and I'm literally going to tell you my mindset. I started prospecting. I was still in my 20s. I'd been in the business a few years, and my actual mantra after going to Las Vegas was, I could be terrible, but if I talk to 50 people a day, I'm going to do some business in spite of myself. And I was, and that was my goal first 3-4 years doing it, and then I cut it down to 25, and I stuck at that 25 number for years. But 50 people a day, just listed, just sold, expired, for sale by owners, hot buyer. There's so many different scripts you can use. And the only reason I didn't door knock, was because I'm from New England. It's just the area I was from. You just didn't, other than the mailman, no one really knocked on your door. Okay, so I just got into the phone right away, and everybody had a home phone number back then. It was really funny because almost everybody in my area was the same exchange too. I mean, I was just one shy of calling, hello, Mabel, could you bring up the Joneses for me, please? Remember? I was just like one, probably decade away from doing it that way.
Yeah.
But it's fun, right? It is a fun.
Yes.
It's fun to do too.
Yeah, and there are days when it's like, oh my gosh, but it's mindset. That's when I know that my mindset's not in the right place. When I have those days where like, I just absolutely don't want to do this. We all have those days, but it's just realizing what's the goal? What's the most important thing? What are you doing it for? And I really try to stay focused on that when I am having those days. What am I doing it for? What's my why? Why am I doing this? So that's the biggest thing I have to stay focused on is this is my why. This is my goals. This is what I want.
I just want you to know that Shauna Lee Villard, I believe, say that. She just said you are the best realtor in Las Vegas.
Shauna's awesome. Hey, Shauna.
Shauna, good job. I would imagine she's one of your prospecting disciples over there, isn't she?
She's actually one of my very best friends for a very long time, but I have done business with her and her family. So yeah, we have been.
Okay. All right, Shauna. Well, thank you, Shauna. That was a very nice comment. All right. So we know there are different lead sources, Mary, right? So I put my glasses on. There are different lead sources. So tell us, what are your favorite ones? And what is your daily prospecting goal? Take us through a day of prospecting.
Day of prospecting. Okay. What a day of prospecting looks like is expireds in the morning first thing. Get those out of the way, even though they're a little odd right now and they're a little harder to, because our market is so different. So, but I do know for sure the older expires are where it's at right now. Definitely. We've talked about that. I think everybody that you've probably interviewed that is expires right now is going back the 6 months or even a year. I have 2 clients right now that are actually 2 years back. And they were like shocked. What? It's that I can get this for my house now. Yeah, you were a little crazy 2 years ago. Now you're in fantasy land. Now you're in reality. So, and thank goodness they didn't think all of a sudden their house was worth $200,000 more than what it was 2 years ago when they listed it. So, but now they're where they should be and where they should have been, and we're getting ready to put those 2 on the market. So that'll be great. But those are the expireds I'm seeing the most results with our old expireds right now.
Right. So we won't call them partially delusional, okay? Or we'll call them opportunists. Yes. The people that ask too much for their homes, right? And there's a lot of that going on right now too. I mean, so when you say they're a little weird, the expires, I know what you're talking about. Either something is drastically wrong with the house, that's why it didn't sell. You have an uncooperative seller, or the price is ridiculous. Otherwise, the house is sold.
I didn't necessarily mean the people are weird. I mean the expired, like the whole. It's much smaller, obviously. Than there's not, unless it's completely overpriced or there's no motivation there. They're selling in 32 minutes. Right. So that's the only 2 things. So they're really not expiring rapidly right now like they were, or different types of expireds now than before. So. But that's one definitely just listed and just sold. And that's been the biggie right now, really more than anything has been, because people want to know what's happening in their neighborhoods, what's going on. And I've never seen more than right now, the true statement of when 1 home sells, usually 2 more sell right away. That is more true now. I've seen that in almost every neighborhood that I'm in all the time. Is you see the signs popping up. And it was really weird. It was in my own neighborhood. And we've talked about this before, and I've been coached on this so many times from John and you and Amanda and everybody. Is bottom line, why am I letting other people into my neighborhood? Right. And it started happening a lot. And I realized that's when I saw 1 home the sign would go up, the house would get sold. Then I'm looking, there's 2 more, 3 more. What in the heck is going on, and why aren't they mine? So I've really been focusing on my areas now too, and prospecting, especially the expireds there and the absentee owners.
Right. If you went around your listings and sales, how could they not pick the Queen of Awesome? Let's face it.
I just don't know. There must be something wrong with them. I mean, why wouldn't they? So I don't know. Just kidding. But I am really focusing on that big right now, because I think if, no one knows my area better than me. Right. And the one thing that I really do know is true is I really do care about the sellers and buyers too, and I have buyers, but I do care about my clients. So I think that does show and that does come out. And when I'm talking to them, that it is genuine, and they see the difference between someone that's being genuine and someone's being fake and just wanting a sale. When you see houses go up for sale in your area, whether it's your neighborhood or your farming area, and you just see it's so grossly overpriced, those are the ones I tend to pay more attention to, because I know they're going to fall apart. They're not going to sell. And then I want to be the one that goes in after those and really it cares. Ask the questions. What exactly, where would you have went if the home had sold? When did you want to be there? Is that still open for you? Is that still an option? And work with those people. And that seems to be, not intentionally, but that really seems to be the expireds that I get are the ones that I've watched, knowing they were overpriced, knowing it was just one of those, well, what do you want to list your home for? Oh, well, $495,000. Okay, sign here. Oh, and I want to pay you 2% commission. Okay, sign here. And then, of course, they expire.
Right.
So, and the thing is that's crazy that I found is those are the easier ones to go in and, you don't have to fight for your commission on those.
Right.
If you go in, you're genuine, you talk to them about what that you do want to help them, that they're really, that someone wasn't honest to them. And obviously that's the biggest thing, that they weren't honest with you about what your home could sell for. Here's what it really can sell for. And here's the time frame it should be able to sell in. And then they're kind of like, oh my gosh, you were sent to me. Oh, you sent to me. You were sent here. But they don't really realize you've been watching it the whole time. It's part of your area that you're working in, that you specialize in, and you watch what's going on. And I've really, really, really tried to focus in on that this year, and I am seeing results from doing that.
Great job.
And that's actually my favorite part.
Yeah, and the great thing about the older expires, and I recommend you go back 3 or 4 years even, is like Jamil in your office who's in my coaching. He's just like you, 2 years back, a year and a half back. He's done very well this year. And it's such an easy conversation. Hi, Mary, Rick Berube with Berkshire Hathaway. I see your home on Oak Street was on the market 2 years ago, didn't sell. I was calling to see in this incredible market. When do you plan on getting it back on the market and getting it sold? It's such an easy conversation to have too, isn't it?
Yes.
Now,
yeah, it really is.
Unless I don't, like a lot of people think, getting on the phone, people, eat their young, they're incredibly mean, and they're really not that bad, right?
No, it's not that bad. I mean, of course there are some that are upset, but I've always kind of looked at it and I was taught that if they're mad, they're always going to be mad at me. I'm one of them. I'm a realtor. It's my fault. But if I can talk to them with where they're at and help bring them down, calm them down, talk to them about real facts, then their attitudes change pretty quick.
Yeah.
And if they don't, and they continue to be nasty and mean, but it's not nearly as bad as what we make it up in our head that it's going to be when we talk to them. It's really not.
So true. Yeah. My line when I got on the phone used to be, I've never been stabbed, punched, maimed, kicked, or anything through the phone. The worst thing I can do is hang up on you. Sometimes they give you interesting commentary first.
Yes, for sure.
Which can be entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Just never be rude, always be professional. You never know what's going on in someone's life. So
exactly. And that's what I tell the new agents when we're working in the prospecting clinic is bottom line is you don't know when you called them what was going on at that minute when they lost it. And I tell this all the time too, that one of the best things that ever happened, and it's only happened once in 10 years, is somebody actually called me back and said, I really want to apologize for being such a jerk to you this morning. It wasn't anything to do with you. Here's what happened, blah, blah, blah. And I was shocked because, like I said, that's happened one time in 10 years. So it's not something that happens often. But I think there was a lesson in that for me, was that it's not about me. It's not because I called them. It's not because of anything other than she was having a lot of stuff going on. And I just happened to be the person that called at that time. So, and the other thing I've
never had that happen. And people have been very rude to me.
Yeah, only happened once. And then the other thing I always say is the same person that cusses you out and hangs the phone up on you this morning is probably the same person that almost trips over themselves to hold the door open for you when you're walking into the grocery store or something. So you just have to know that you just caught them at a bad moment. Doesn't mean they're bad people or it's something you did. It's just, you might've caught them at a bad moment.
Right. Absolutely true. That's why I like calling early in the morning because, when they're helping their kids with homework, or making dinner, or they just got back from doing the thing that about 70% of the population hates. It's called work. We love our jobs, but not everybody does, Mary. Not everybody does.
They need to become realtors in Las Vegas and, with Berkshire Hathaway.
Don't tell them all. All right. Well, a bunch of them, if they come here, it's okay. But otherwise, we don't need, we've got plenty. Look at the people getting their licenses right now. I talk to our education class all the time, and we're getting a lot of people getting in the business right now because it's that time. It's great. Yeah. Jump in. Anybody. I mean, Mary, anybody can do this. This is not a hard job.
Sure. It's all mindset.
Yeah.
Whoa. There we go.
I love your sign, by the way. I love your sign.
I love it too. I bumped my thing out of the way, so I had to readjust here. But
okay. Anyway. What is this? Full contact interview? Banging her screen. All right.
All right. Have it any other way, Rick. Come on.
Yeah, I know. You're just an animated person. I love it.
Oh,
do you still have that same yellow car too, or is it yellow or white?
No, I got rid of that. It's kind of, and I got to tell you, it's still. The grandkids are too big. I needed four doors and more seats, but yeah, my little yellow Fiat, I miss it a lot.
That was a cute car.
Yeah. I couldn't hide in that car. Now I just blend in.
You like to stand out, I can tell, but you do.
Just a little. No.
Right. You are definitely not shy, which really helps you in this business because some people.
It absolutely does.
Yeah, absolutely.
It absolutely.
All right. So we talked about just listed, just sold. Just so everybody understands, what Mary's talking about there is we just listed a home in your area. That's that conversation. We just sold a home in your area. All right. Old expired listings used to be listed with somebody else, and you can call them the day after they expire. And old expires, they expired 2 years ago. People always go, why would I waste my time calling them? You know what? Yeah, hold that thought. I'm going to call them, and I'm going to tell you right now. I know of agents that have gotten the business in the last year and a half, 2 years, who all their business have come from old expireds because they call them. What about for sale by owners? You ever try those?
I am not as strong in that as I need to be. And that's actually something that I need to really start pushing at, because I would think that a lot of for sale by owners would have been, if they had tried before, it's even a better time now to talk, kind of like the expireds. It's a good time to talk to them. But that's probably, honestly, my weakest. And I need to really bring that up. And I don't even really know why. It's not like they scare me or anything. It's just never been something I really, really focused on. And I think as I'm saying that, that's kind of ridiculous because they have a need. They want to sell. So
yeah, I was going to bring it up. That sounded pretty ridiculous, Mary.
Yeah, I know. It really did.
No, it's a mindset. You just told us your mindset about, but I will tell you, as somebody that used to work there for sale by owners, well, I'll give you an example. I have one of our top agents in Arizona. She was I said, just go out and look at them. We're supposed to preview property. Why not preview property you have a chance to list? Set it up. She's done 4 deals this year with properties, and she's gotten anywhere from like a co-broke fee to a full double-sider, depending on who you're talking to. Some of them are, a little, well, I'll pay you the buyer agency fee because they've been listed before and they understand. But, you can get, first off, it's inventory in your mind that is not an MLS. Okay, I was just talking to a family member this morning. You don't have to rely just on MLS. There's other places, right?
Sure.
So if you go looking for sale by owners, you could do a double ender, because remember, Mary, they're not going to sell for the same amount of money that you could sell them for.
For sure.
And they just don't look at not my first question, but when I go over for sale by an owner, I ask them, is your only goal not to pay a commission? Well, no, I want to net money. Well, they don't go together.
Exactly.
So, and they don't understand that. So you're listen, Queen of Awesome, you can go over and explain that to people. I can see you doing that.
Yes. And now game on, challenge accepted. That's what I need to do this week. So yes. I will do that.
Now, just so everybody understands, one of the first, we had I do a little music. You and Mary, Mary knows I do usually for benefits. I think the benefit this time was for Project 150, but whatever. We had a Halloween party here. I'm going to say it was 6 years ago now.
God, it had to be at least that.
And just so they understand how long you've been awesome, Mary actually came as a bag of awesome. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I did.
So I have one very, very important question for you.
Okay.
Iron Maiden or Metallica?
Oh my God. There is no, it's Metallica all the way. There's just no
I
comparison.
I just want everybody to know I knew the answer to that. I just had
You
to.
did know the answer already.
Yes, yes. She's not a closet heavy metal
No.
head. She is a
No.
openly. All
Yes.
music is good. That's my thing. All music is good.
Yes,
All right,
all music
Mary.
is good.
So listen, we know that you are the queen of awesome, and your broker, your managers tell me. Matter of fact, Amanda actually said to me, "Why don't you interview Mary?" I go, "Oh my God, what a great idea! Why didn't I think of that?" Right? And I was just at your, when I thought of it when I was at your office a couple weeks ago, and you were in the front row, and I'm like, "I've never interviewed Mary. What's wrong with me?"
Yeah,
Anyway,
Rick,
so
what's wrong with you? No, I'm kidding.
well, I must have been having a slight aneurysm at the time because
That's all
now
right.
I'm back now. So, all right. So you're a newer agent or you're trying to take your business to the next level. What would be the three most important things you tell them to focus on, Mary?
Wow. Okay. So I actually wrote those down. I would say the number one thing is from the very beginning is to treat this like a job. Set your schedule up as if you have to, especially for brand new agents, that you come in at a certain time every day, that you leave at the same time every day. Treat it like you would if you were working for someone. And because there's nobody more important to work for than yourself. And when you leave every day, ask yourself, if Mary was my employee, would I fire her today? And if the answer was yes, step it up tomorrow, make the corrections and get back in line. And if the answer was, no, I would keep her, I would give her a raise, then do the same exact thing the next day. And check yourself on that every week. Give yourself a weekly evaluation on that. So don't wait until it's 6 months down the road. And especially new agents, more experienced agents can do it later. But like every week when you're brand new, ask yourself, check in with yourself every week. Did I meet those goals? And if not, make the corrections right away instead of waiting months and being behind and then trying to play catch up. So that's one.
That's a great thought.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest. Number two is really build a healthy relationship with the word prospecting and realize that whether that's going to be on the phone, if it's going to be you have to talk to people every day. So get comfortable with it. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable with that. For so many people, that's just, I don't like to talk to people. Then you have to build a healthy relationship with that.
Yeah, you
Even
know what?
if it's just not genuine in the beginning, keep practicing it until it becomes that way.
I have a newer agent in my coaching, and she's changed it from prospecting or lead generation to making new friends. That's what she calls it.
I love that.
Isn't that a great idea?
I love
Making
that.
new friends, because they become your friends and they're in your database. They're getting all that wonderful stuff out of the VAC 2.0 from you. So great thought. Love that one.
Yeah. And then I guess lastly would just be build a schedule that sets you for success and make yourself and really, really focus on just being 1% better every day. 1% better every day. And then before you know it, you're awesome.
Yeah.
So,
1% better every day. I'm trying to think of the math. It's in the book. Which book is it in? I think it's in Atomic Habits. It's in one. But after 2 years, you are 271% better or something like that.
Yeah. And the thing is it just sounds so small. It really is small. But if you're if you're 1% better every day than you were the day before, all those days, like everything, compound effect, everything we've been taught forever about mindset and it all just builds on each other. Before you know, you're looking at it going, oh my gosh, look what I've done. And also really important to recognize the things that you do. Recognize your successes, realize that, and then, oh my gosh, this happened this week. Okay, I want more of that. What did I do this week? Okay, that's really cool. Build on it for the next week. Just keep building week after week after week with what you evaluated, what you see that you did well, keep doing more of it. It's really not, this is not a hard business if you stay consistent and you keep your mindset strong. John taught me that at the very beginning. Those would be the two things that would make I would either be successful for doing those or I would fail for not. And which are you going to do? And it was really pretty black and white like that is I'm either going to do the things that push me forward or I'm going to not, and I'm going to be doing nothing and floundering. And that just isn't an option. So
I love it. Look, we have all kinds of comments over here. A couple of them from Arizona. Focus on your goals. Awesome, Robert says. And then Patrick Clark said she needs to be a future manager. Hey, Patrick, that's funny. Patrick, I don't know if you know who Patrick is, but Patrick used to be the fiddle player for Darius Rucker.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome, Patrick. That's cool.
And now he's a top agent in Arizona, taking his skills of communication, because that's what music is, communication.
Yeah,
think about it.
For sure.
Even if it's Metallica.
But hey, that's the best. Yes,
right. I love. They are some great guitar players, those guys. So.
Oh yeah. All
right, so Mary, I just want to say thank you very much for your time today. You rocked it. Once again, it was awesome. So thank you very much today. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.